an in-depth machine learning tutorial series. The objective of this tutorial series is to give you a holistic understanding of machine learning and how it works, and we're going to do this by covering a variety of algorithms. So firstly, let's cover and give a short presentation of artificial intelligence. So, excuse me. So, what do you think artificial intelligence is? So, in movies, so we can find in robots are able to think, have emotions, and make decisions just like a human. What is artificial intelligence? So, artificial intelligence is the development of computer systems that are able to perform tasks that are require the human intelligence. Examples of these tasks are visual perception, for example, speech recognition, decision making, translation between languages. So, inside of this IA, we can find machine learning, for example. Machine learning can find in natural language processing. So, inside of natural language processing, we can find in something called machine translation. So that means we need to build in models with languages understand each other or to understand the language of a human. We have the ability to build the models, have the ability to understand the sentiment analysis or to information extraction. We have robotics and we have computer vision. In computer vision, you have the ability to image recognition. So in deep learning, for example, in a cancer an example of cancers, for example, they have the ability to diagnose the images more than doctor. Yeah, this is the truth. We can see the examples and how we use the deep learning to building or to have the ability to contribute to solving or to understand more the complex problem we have. So in real life, we have examples. We have self-driving cars, for example. So the cars have ability to drive itself. Yeah, this is the truth. We have chatbots. So in chatbot, you can find this in social media, in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, kind of building chatbot, and we can see that in next tutorials how we building a chatbot. We have navigation system. So in navigation system, we have a providing suggested direction to a human in charge of will or with all via text or speech. And we have many more things can see in artificial intelligence. So, in machine learning, let's take first step in artificial intelligence. It's a machine learning. What is the machine learning? The machine learning is science of extraction of the information and knowledge from data. That means the data is coming as source of our knowledge. We need the data to understand more and more problems. We don't have the ability to solve it with classical approach we have now, especially when about the science of computer. Because in next tutorials we can see a lot and types of machine learning we have and how we can build the model or our model of machine learning with data. So for this reason I tell the data is very important. It's the core of machine learning. So we have a lot of skills we need to be an engineer in machine learning. Firstly, we need to have some basics of mathematics in statistics especially. Why? Because in statistics it gives us the ability to understand the variables and the features we have. Before we try to build in the model, we need to know what is the type of relationship exists between all these variables we have. It's necessary to have the distribution of data how it is. Before we try to build in the model, just to have or we will to be a good accuracy of our models. So that is why statistics is very important. We need to have a basics in probability. The probability Bayesian probability, conditional probability, and all these things is necessary because a lot of algorithms is built or the the mathematics works behind the algorithms we can use is statistics. We can see that in the tree decision, for example, or in logistic regression, is one of the famous algorithms classification in machine learning. Is based on is based on probability, and we need to have um, some skills of programming, because the programming, because we to do all these things we need Python languages, because we have a lot and famous library we can use it to build in the models for visualization. For example, we have something called map of life for visualization. We have Seaborn, we have scikit-learning. Just this library gives us the ability to import our algorithm we can use. We have uh, SumPy and we have NumPy. All this library is for mathematics and statistics. And to do this, we have steps to follow. The first thing we need to have is a problem, because we have a big difference between statistic modeling and machine learning. In statistic modeling, we have a problem and we research the data. That means the problem is cheap and the data is expensive. But in machine learning, we have the data and the problem is expensive. That means we need to choose a right problem and collect the data we can need help us to solving the problem we have before, because as we know we live now in age of data. We have a big data, we have a huge data and variety of data. We have a lot of type of data, structured data, semi-structured data, videos, images, all these things we can use it to build in the models, help us to understand more and more problems we have or we face now. So in machine learning, we can use it, as I told you before, in many fields and many things. For example, in a fire of Amazon, so we can build in models and help us to predicting the next fire, and the government can contribute before the fires come. For example, in suicide, for example, we can have some data of suicide and predict it if the person cannot be suicide or not. Or, for example, in breast cancer of a human, of woman, for example, sorry, for women. So the breast cancer of women, and we cannot build in the models help us to predict if this woman cannot be patient or not. And so we have a lot of things to do. I'm sorry because I try to I do my best just to be present in this tutorials, and thank you for your watching and next tutorials.